Man, I got so much to talk about for this podcast. I'm actually happy. Um, as and then like yesterday, I showed my appreciation to everybody that jumps on the podcast. And if y'all hearing this now, or if y'all hearing this, I appreciate everybody that jumps on the podcast. I gone through like 80. I have like 80 episodes. Yeah, they don't get as big as it used to. Like I used to get like 20, 30, and now sometimes I barely get one or two. But I still appreciate doing the podcast. I think it helps me. It helps me be busy with stuff. It helps the people that's on the show that's or that does it. It gives them some type of relief. They can express their feelings the way they want. I, and I'm appreciative about it. One thing about it though, and I tell people all the time, I want females on there because it's usually like all dudes. But I put out stuff for females if they want to do it. And I tell people, if you want to jump on, let me know, DM me. If you want to be on there, express your opinions, do it. You know, I put it out there. And I don't know how many people look at it or listen to it, but I'm putting it out there where I said I would love to have females' opinions on here. You get one every once in a while, and then they leave. I don't understand it because we're not rude to her, or they just stopped doing it. I guess some one girl said sometimes she felt like she didn't fit the criteria, which is weird because no one had a problem with her. And one of the dudes on there, he was like, "Oh, where my best friend at?" and all that other stuff. It's just like we're actually happy to have a woman on it because even me, I want a woman's opinion on there, and then they give her the time to talk. There's not one time where it's just like or at least on that show that I say this all the time. We may some even though we may have different opinions, I want you to get your opinions out there, and I want you to give your opinions out there so where you can at least say, "Hey, at least I got my stuff out there." I don't want to interrupt nobody, and I don't want to make them feel inferior. I thank them like every time. I thank them for being on the panel, and I thank the audience for listening to talk the shit again. That's my little slogan. Um, it was, which was funny. It wasn't even supposed to be about that. Anyway, my friend, one of the dudes on the podcast, my man Father, shows me a tweet that was sent to him, and it was basically some racist white dude talking about smashing his head in because he, you know, rides with Nick Cannon, which is it's no longer available because it violated Twitter rules. Oh, okay, all right. The dude basically he said some racist shit and all that other stuff. But yeah, this is what he said. Now we know who the racist is. Is you, father, and that's my man. He's like, I love to smash your little racist head in. So I'm looking at that. He shows it to me, and I'm just like, damn, what the fuck goes on there? And then when you goes to my man Father's right, he's like, I'm riding with you, Nick Cannon. And then when you go to Nick Cannon's tweet, it's going to Instagram because that's how everything goes to, and it's a video about him trying to build up Harlem. And I'm like, there is no slander of white people in there. There is no slander of white people nowhere in there. It's just a video of him ripping up Harlem. So from this point, I'm like, why is everyone calling Nick Cannon? Why is everybody calling Nick Cannon racist? And it's just to me like, I don't fucking get it. I don't understand it, and I don't fucking get it. It's like, what did he do that was saying so racist? Because I know, like he's like really pro black now, but he's so far, at least in my opinion, he hasn't really said nothing racist. I wake up, I wake up, and I see Nick Cannon is fired from Wild 'N Out. I'm like, that's his show. And then you realize you're like, why is he? But you go in, why is he fired from Wild 'N Out? And from what the media, and I'm using the quotations from what the media said, Nick Cannon said some anti-Semitic shit about white people, which I looked at, and it was from his podcast Cannon Class, which honestly, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, because I feel like as black people we should be able to freely express ourselves as we want to. But I also know that Viacom is, I think it's owned by Jews, and I think most of media at Hollywood is run by Jews. So with that being said, um, he was on it, and he was talking to Professor Griff that was on Public Enemy. And you talked about the mountains of Caucasoid and all that other stuff. Like, if you seen what he said, if you're a black man, you agree. If you're not a black man, you think it's racist or anti-Semitic. So, to think about why people hate Louis Farrakhan, because they think Louis Farrakhan is anti-Semitic. And if you're one of the people who think black people are the original Jews, or like black people are the original Jews, yeah, that goes with what you says. It's like commit science and some shit like that. We are the original people. They come from the mountains of Caucasus, and like he was basically talking about those people were like animals and savages and all that stuff. I guess Jews. I took it the wrong way. Uh, Which black people been saying all the time. Jews protect theirs. And anytime you say something, black people talk about how Jews protect it. It's the one time white people can say, "Ah, that is fucking racist," and we could use that against black people, and we can tell you, "How dare you say those about the Jews?" You know why? Because of the fucking Holocaust, which had nothing to do with us. But anytime you mention the Holocaust, you can't mention the Holocaust. Obviously, you can't mention the Holocaust with the Jews. They fucking, and they'll come at your ass. But every time we mention slavery, we're telling people to get over it. We're never telling the fucking Jews to get over the Holocaust, even though I think you shouldn't, because you shouldn't tell black people to get over slavery. Let that be known. Um, when okay, I see that. Okay, okay, that's why he got fired and all that other stuff. But then you realize, one, that show's been on for like 15 years, and two, Nick Cannon has made millions. Obviously, Nick Cannon has made fuck you money. Let's be real. Like, Nick Cannon is not no broke ass nigga. All right. I remember when everybody was they was looking at Nick Cannon as the lesser tier because he was married to Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's worth bundles of fucking money, and like she could just go anywhere and sing one song and make fucking like 250 million. I'm exaggerating, but y'all know Mariah Carey's net worth is just like that, as she would. But Nick Cannon, I've always said, Nick Cannon has like Nick Cannon ain't no slouch. It's like Nick Cannon be getting money. Like Nick Cannon, he has a hustler's nature where he fucking can get money, and like he doesn't really need Mariah Carey's money. Like he never really depends on Mariah Carey's money. He's always been an entrepreneur, and most people that know Nick Cannon knows he's an entrepreneur. Is he corny? Yes, he's corny, but in a good corny. Like I've always said, like people call Nick. That's why Nick Cannon is okay with the corny thing, because that type of corny makes him money. Nick Cannon, like that's why, like I don't mind calling Nick Cannon corny, because I know what type of like that type of corny that Nick Cannon does. It makes money. It's not cringy corny. It's like, yeah, it's corny, but it makes some money, which it has, and like he's good at what he does. Like you could talk about his rap career. He's okay with that. You could talk about his acting or his being in bad movies. It's okay with that. But Drumline is still like a fucking great movie to most people. But it makes him money. Like you gotta understand, Will Smith. Like people love Will Smith, but Will Smith had that type of corniness too. But it's also respected. Like at first, you that type of corny shit makes money, and that's what I want Black America to understand with Nick Cannon. So that's why. But the thing is, when Will Smith, he's made better movies, and like he's now like where he's at, minus the whole Jada Pinkett shit. But obviously, to me, when I'm looking at this, Nick Cannon got fuck you money, and as far as I'm concerned, he's trying to buy Wild and Out the label, and I don't think Viacom's gonna get him, because I think what Viacom was gonna do is try to replace Nick Cannon with someone else and try to use those people because you got to realize, not like, and this is how a lot of people done said fuck Viacom, and this is why like a lot of people do not, like have this big beef with Viacom because they're a big corporate business company. And in my opinion, if BET never sold their money to Viacom, I feel like BET will be big as Viacom if it was today. But like Bob Johnson sold BET to Viacom. That's why he's a billionaire. That's why he bought the billionaire team. And then Jordan bought his team and all that other shit. And so Jordan being a billionaire. But the thing is, when I look at Nick Cannon, I feel like he's very respected, and I don't think this doesn't affect him at all. Even though, like, yes, he's been keeping that show on for like 15 fucking years. It's still relevant. Like, he still puts some new stuff. He's made stars. Like, that's the thing about Nick Cannon is like you can call him corny what you want to, but he's been making he's gave careers to people that's been on Instagram and Vine and YouTube stars. He's been giving people those big shows money and putting them on shows. I've never heard of Justine Valentine until I've seen her on Wild 'N Out, and now they're putting Justine Valentine on other fucking shows. I think Justin, and if anything, I think Justine Valentine could go somewhere else and make money of her own. Um, Battle rappers like Conceited, Hitman Holler. I feel like they could go other places too, and then like make stuff of their own. Um, King Bach, DC Young Fly. Obviously, like DC Young Fly, he could be the next Cat Williams because Cat Williams was. People remember Cat Williams was on there, and Cat Williams he was like one of the people you would come to see because he was always funny and always hitting. DC Young Fly, he can have a big career in the big in film, and plus he got his 89.5 South. Him, Chico Bean, Carlos Miller. It was like a lot of people on that show has branched out to their own, and Nick has let them. It's like, go ahead, do it. Nick has always said, go ahead, do it. I want you to get big from this. So that's the unselfishness out of Nick Cannon that I feel like people gotta respect. Even B Simone, like B Simone done made her millions, even though how much you feel about B Simone and this shit. Um, she's made something out of it. Just Hilarious and made stuff out of it. Like there's people like even like there's a lot of people that's making stuff out of their career. Excuse me. All you gotta do is give them a chance. Um, so I feel like, hey, Nick Cannon, as far as I'm concerned, if he can buy Wallen out, if he doesn't get on Revolt, I feel like if Diddy doesn't let him get on Revolt, that could be one thing. Because if that is Diddy's channel, I was like, just take that show, take it to Revolt with Diddy. And if Diddy was smart, he would promote that. Oh, well, now Wild 'N Out is now on Revolt channel, and like that's a black channel, or at least it's owned by Diddy. I'm hoping, and you can run with that because I don't think Revolt really got shows that people are watching. Like, why would I watch the Breakfast Club on Revolt when I could just watch it on YouTube? Let's be real. Like, get your money from Revolt, but why would I watch that on there when it excuse me, when it's on YouTube? I'm looking at. I don't really know no other shows on Revolt, so that's one thing. I know even there they do like press conferences and shit. Um, if not, I feel like Nick Cannon could like buy his own TV station. Maybe start his own Wild 'N Out channel or some shit like that. Fucking, I got an LG TV. I got a bunch of channels that that's just run. And I don't know how many people watch those shows, but run. Like I done seen Fifth Wheel and Blind Date on one of my I think the channel is called Nosy. And it's just like I saw Fifth Wheel and Blind Date. It was like shows I haven't watched since like early 2000, like 2005 or some shit like that. I haven't watched no shit like that. What do I think about all of this? Because it's funny. Like it's how do I? What am I thinking about all this other than the Nick Cannon shit? Because I need to go back to my boy father. Um, it shows that white people are really scared of black people. I'm gonna be honest. I look at this as like, damn, you white people are really like. This is how I know that black people we have something and we need to stay on their fucking necks. Because now they're trying to. I feel when like we're trying to ask them for like justice for Breonna Taylor and all the other and Elijah McClain and all the other police and all that stuff. They're trying to give us shit. They try to silence us. And no, I don't think that this Will and Jada shit is distracting anybody from Breonna Taylor's murder. What the fuck is y'all like? Please, people, we are smarter than that. That's just a random rant that I was going to do, but I'm gonna just say that I think Black America is smarter than that. That we can focus on Will and Jada shit and fucking still talk about justice for Breonna Taylor. All right, we're in a fucking quarantine. We ain't got shit to do. With that being said, uh, a lot of there is, but the thing is why I love this social media shit is because all the races get exposed. Like all the races get exposed. It's just like, wow, you guys are really like y'all really out there, and y'all really showing your. This is where I will use the word white privilege because I do think white privilege exists. It's just that it just doesn't bother me much, and this don't really bother me much. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where your privilege to say what the fuck you want without you getting punched in the face. That's a type of privilege that only I'm not gonna say white people have, but it's just like y'all really abusing until y'all run across the right nigga that don't give a fuck about jail. You don't like as far as black people because black people we've been having this fight about privilege and like every time some old white lady cusses us out or call us bigger or some shit like that, we retaliate. We're fucking sick of it. And the thing is, I'm for it. A lot of people's like, I'm against it, but it's like, no, I'm for it. I think we should start punching people in the face. And then it's like, oh, then you go to jail. I understand, you go to jail and all that other shit. And it's like, no, no. I think people need to understand that there's got to be consequences for your actions. And that is you getting punched in your face. I do wish that we need to, and this is my idea for like this to be a law. Like this already law condemns fighting words, where some laws are protected, but I think that needs to be upgraded to where it's just like if you say some of these words that consider hate words and hate speech, I should be allowed to punch you. I should be allowed to punch you in your face, or at least like how can I say this? Like if I get you on camera and you call me all types of n words and all that other stuff, and you just like got you on camera. And the white people are like, oh, you a effing N-word and all that other stuff. I'm like, okay, I got this on camera. It's obviously a hate speech. This is hate crimes. It's like he just, he cursed me out. I have the legitimate right to beat your ass. And then like I can just continue beating on people and then just beat on people. I'm not saying like beat up white people and all that other stuff. It's just one of those things. Like I don't want this law to pass just so black people have an excuse to beat up on white people, but I feel like a lot of people should have consequences for your actions. Back then, like as much as and this is one of those things where I feel like white people. This is another thing, but white people privilege, and this is one of the few things that bother me, and because I used to hate this when people do this in fucking in the Navy, and I seen it on a fucking TV show. Like you always got that one dude that's talk all this shit talking about I'm going to beat your fucking ass and all that other stuff. Soon as you get in front of a dude that's about that life, you're going to be like, I'm going to sue. If you hit me, I'm going to sue. And I'm like, you started this shit. He was like, so? I ain't put my hands on him. It was like, no, that's some cowardly bitch shit that I feel like a lot of white people do, especially the Karens. That's why people have problems with these Karens. Because these Karens will get into your face and like they say whatever they want out your fucking mouth, and then like when someone punches you in the face, you go, oh my god, oh my god, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe officer, this guy punched me in the face and I didn't do that. It's like you fucking like you fucking got in his face. Half of y'all be doing the wildest shit. Like some of y'all Karens be doing the wildest shit. I've seen Karens spit on people. I've seen Karens and then like try to fucking run. Are you fucking you know, back then, and I don't know if anybody remember Flavor of Love, this first season. I don't know, probably because, you know, New York was looked at such like a villain. And then when Pumpkin spit on, a lot of people like enjoyed that. But at the now that I'm older, and I will be saying, even so, I didn't like the spitting. I don't know why I thought it was okay. But now that I'm older and I watch that, and I'm like, New York should have washed her. I have to apologize. If I ever see New York in person, I would have to apologize to her. Like, I am so sorry that I was with that because I don't even like spitting in the first place. And I feel like if anybody spits on you and that is assault, you should dog walk them to the point where you like damn near dog walk them near death. Because like spitting is disgusting and it's one of the big, and like a lot of people say you should never hit on a woman. I was like, no, if you, and my thing is, if that woman spits on you, I'm not going to protect her. And I tell people all the time, and I tell women all the time, if you ever spit on a man, I'm not protecting you. Because that shit is disgusting. And if he dog walks you, you deserve it. You don't ever spit on somebody. That's fucking disgusting. The fact that New York has still not dog like if New York see Pumpkin right now and dog walks her right now, I would be happy with her. It was like she's been holding that in for like since Flavor of Love, and all of a sudden she sees her right now and New York dog walks her. I'd be happy to see New York do. I said, well, Pumpkin deserves it. You shouldn't have spit on her. You don't be spitting on people. And I know a lot of people do that, but I see a lot of people do that. Like you spit on people and shit, and it's just like, oh, this is where we going to. So I just got mad. I'm sorry. I just literally got mad. Like, um, I don't know. I think I imagine someone spitting on me. I made a fist. But that's how much I feel about it. Like, that shit is disgusting. Like what are you doing? But golly, almost got off track. Let me calm down. But this is what I mean. I like I don't wanna, like the even though like I enjoy some of this like out racism, I do want something to be done with that. And I think that's the privilege that bothers me about. That's the one thing about white privilege that bothers me is that some of you white folks. There's a reason like why I stopped talking to a couple people. If you're like one of those dudes that you talk all this shit, but if someone confronts you and all that other stuff, you're gonna sue or you're gonna cry to your chain of command or some shit like that. Because I seen it happen in the Navy. It was like I'm going to tell Chief if you like put your hands on. I was like, motherfucker, you started it. It was like you started that. You was asking for it. Like I tell people all the time, if I talk shit to Mike Tyson in his face, and I call him a pussy ass nigga and all that other stuff, and Mike dogs walk me. Do you think people's gonna have sympathy for me? No. People gonna look at me and go, "Why in the fuck would you call Mike Tyson a pussy?" What in the right mind? Like that nigga is a professional killer. He is a professional trained boxer, and that nigga was knocking people out in 30 seconds or less. Why in the fuck would you call him a pussy ass nigga? And it's just like they'll look at me like, "Oh no, you deserve it." I remember there was this I don't care if he had something mentally wrong with him or he was autistic or something like that. I remember before Deontay Wilder blew up, there was this white dude and he just talked shit to Deontay Wilder, and he mentioned his daughter one time. So they got him in the ring, and fucking Deontay was about to kill this motherfucker, and everybody was like, "Oh, I don't fucking care." I told people, I don't fucking care. You talked about a man's daughter like that? You deserve to get washed. I wanted him to. I'm not gonna lie. Deontay Wilder would have killed that man. I said, what? Should have been talking shit about like you ain't think that these niggas got. I'm and white people. I'm not saying this to. This is not hate speech. Do not really consider this as hate speech. Think of this as more of a warning. Some of these folks, we got time. I don't know if y'all seen Jay and Silent Bob. I done said this like many a times. Jay and Silent Bob had time where like they had money and they had time. So everybody that talked shit to him, they pulled up on him and beat the shit out of him. That was part of it. That was in the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Backs. Don't be surprised when niggas start doing that. Just pulling up and like just wanting to beat your ass. Like, I know what you're thinking. They ain't do that shit to Zimmerman. Zimmerman got guns. And like, I don't think they're gonna do that to Zimmerman. Zimmerman knows how to hide. But Zimmerman ain't out there either. It's like you don't see Zimmerman out there regularly out there in the streets. Like, cause if you did in the hood, like Zimmerman ain't going to Dade County, Miami. He's not gonna be fucking in Dade County, Miami, just fucking doing anything. You go like somebody would catch him, torture him, beat him, maybe even kill him for Trayvon. So I know a lot of people's like, y'all let Zimmerman walk. It was like, and some of these and I say this to some of these pro blacks and all that. Oh, y'all talk about all these gangsters. Y'all let Zimmerman walk. I said, go find them. And I tell them, you go find them. Go and if you're really you all these gangsters, they kill each other. I say, you go find them. Go find his address. You go confront Zimmerman. You want other people. And I say this. I'm not big on gangster culture, but I'm not gonna make them do shit that you're not gonna do yourself. Or like anybody that says that. If you're not going to publicly go beat yourself, why? I think a lot of people. I think everybody who say that, find his address and go pull up on him. If anybody that's done said that, oh, y'all did it in the street. If y'all find it, if all of a sudden there's a tweet or Instagram comments that I say that, shit, I will go. It's like, yo, give me some tickets. He's like, I started GoFundMe. I'm gonna pull up so I can pull up in George Zimmerman's and fucking confront him about Trayvon. I'd do it. If there was because I don't know if I said it or not, but if I did, I should be a man of my word. It's like I started GoFundMe and then I'll try to pull up. I'll do whatever. Like, just give me his address. I'll see what it do. But this this obviously, I guess this was on my mind, and this is just like a 3-in-1 rant. So yes, I'm a bottom line this because this is probably one of my longest videos to date. I've been talking for 28 minutes straight. In conclusion, I'm proud of I'm thankful for what I have in this podcast because I do feel like it's growing. I just need to get it back to where it was, but I do feel like we had our best episodes in this past like 2 months. And I doesn't really get as much I do because I do promote it. Like I promote my channel, I promote it. You get what you can. Like you get what you can. I do appreciate the fact that people like when they do view, sometimes they give me comments like this is good shit and all that stuff. I appreciate it. Second, Nick Cannon would be okay. He's got other ways of getting money. Like I think Nick Cannon's going to be fine. Uh, also, white, yeah, some of y'all racist whites, and let me be completely clear. Some of you racist whites need your ass whipped. And I guess that was the third part of my rant. you racist white means your ass whipped. I can't stand people that throw stones and hide your hands and I feel like a lot of y'all account because there's no way you should be talking like from a video that didn't even have to consider people that you're over there being because I don't think Nick Cannon was racist or anti-Semitic. It's just like was he lying or were we the original black people and all that other stuff? I think a lot of you racist whites are really just like scared to where the world is turning to. And some of you racist whites need to be, I don't want to say exiled, but y'all be showing your ass. And I feel like I think that's why a lot of people hate this Trump presidency. Because, and like someone said, obviously, Trump being racist and all that other stuff is the reason why a lot of people, could see him doing 8 because obviously even though he is racist to most people, they don't see him as a big deal. And I'm gonna do another video on that because black a lot of black conservatives that support Trump was like, how is he racist and all that other stuff. And I done knew this shit was going to happen, but that's gonna be another video. Matter of fact, yeah, that's gonna be another video. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly and I'm out. Peace.